Joining us now is Will Westmoreland. He's a farmer, as well as the executive director of the Back 40, which helps rural American, ensuring farmers, researchers, and communities are thriving with the right protections and policies. Wonderful to see you, sir. Thank you for being here today.
You bet, Kelly. Good to be here.
So this pathogen, reportedly responsible for billions of dollars in economic losses worldwide each year. What are you hearing from those in the farming community about the pathogen specifically and how devastating it is?
Well, this is a new thing. I think we haven't heard about this in a while. Most of the pathogens and disease in livestock and things like that we typically have to deal with on the farm are naturally occurring. So this is something new for us. I think people have been digesting this yesterday and today. This would be an introduced issue into the agricultural sphere. And I think you've got a lot of concern out there because, as NewsNation has pointed out, you guys have done a great job of this. We have a lot of cuts to the programs that are designed to locate things like this, call them out, and prevent them. And so I think there's a lot of fear right now that this could become a bigger issue.
Yeah, how devastating do you see this potentially being for farmers, and also how difficult may it be to mitigate?
Well, thankfully they caught this. I mean, I think that's the good news, and we should celebrate that. It looks like the system worked like it was supposed to in terms of catching these culprits. But I think there's a big fear out there because farming and ranching is under so much duress right now. We've got markets going away because of the tariffs. We've got challenges out there with the economy. We've got, small family farms and ranches being bought up by corporate ag and Wall Street. So it's a really challenging environment out there for farmers right now. And this is just one more challenge that we don't need. If this were to get out, I don't think it's an understatement to say it would devastate farming in this country. Just because of the challenges we've already got. It'd be, if you don't mind me using the phrase, it would be the final nail in the coffin.
Yeah. What are you hearing from farmers on the ground on the heels of this most recent news?
Well, I haven't had a whole lot of conversations about it because it's relatively new, but I did talk to two row crop farmers today that help us in some other areas, and I think it's just a level of uncertainty and another challenge that's coming along that we're not prepared for. Had this gotten out, let's say that the worst case scenario would have occurred. I think there's a fear among farmers that would we be able to get on top of it, stop it, or prevent it as quickly as we would need to. We've got fewer food inspectors out there now. We've got cuts to funding to fight things like this. So there's a real concern. Can we meet the need if it occurs? I think the answer to that question is unknown right now, but I think most of us fear the answer is no, we couldn't.
Do you believe the trade war, the tough talk with China, is playing a significant role when we talk about some of these threats and now this new threat that we're reporting on?
Yeah, it's hard to say if this was an act of terror or if it was, if you read the background on this, it also looks like they hadn't been approved to bring this into the country to study it. So it's hard to know if this was just a couple trying to circumvent, the system in order to study this fungus. Which even if that was the case, there's no excuse for it, and it was a dangerous move. Or if this was a move by the Chinese government to do something with our food supply. I think the jury's still out on that, but I absolutely do believe that the relationship that we've got with China right now, the fact that we've got these tariffs in place and markets are moving to Brazil and Argentina and other countries, it's created a really tough environment for farmers. So this just adds to the challenges that are out there for farmers and ranchers. And the typical farm and ranch, we're not prepared just at the local level to deal with something like this. This is what you could safely call a federal government issue, no doubt about it. And if these programs are cut and in the end they go away, it just eliminates that single line of defense we've got against bad things really happening.
And to your point, Will, back in December, at least 17 military bases near Chinese-owned farmland across the U.S., they experienced these drone sightings. Do you believe farmers in this day and age are at serious risk?
I think the bigger issue that we face from China right now is that we've got, these think tanks and conservative organizations around the country that are trying to pass laws to broaden foreign land ownership here in the United States. For instance, in Missouri, we had a right to farm bill. It always gets the right name, But this right to farm bill basically was designed to open up the amount of land that foreign owners could own in the United States. Once that passed here in Missouri, the Chinese bought up 40,000 acres of pristine farmland here in our state. So I see that as a bigger threat. But yeah, to answer your question directly, absolutely, because on the farm, other than making these observations and reporting them, we're not designed to push back or fight it. And that has to happen at the federal government level. So if these programs get cut and they go away, similar to what I said before, that's our primary line of defense. And when it's gone, there is no line of defense.
Will Westmoreland, appreciate your voice on this. Thank you very much for your time.
You bet. Keep up the great work at NewsNation. You're doing a phenomenal job reporting on ag, and I appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much. It is a top priority. Thank you, Will.